Yo, what's up guys? XP Mastery here, back with another Elden Ring guide. Today, we're diving into where to find all 18 Larval Tears in the game. If you're looking to respec your character as much as possible or just want to know every location to stock up, this video has got you covered. Let's jump right in. So you want to turn your attention to the Aguili Lake South site of Grace, and then from there you simply need to walk up towards the cliff, and there will be a few rogue enemies, one of them standing on his own by the rock. You're going to attack him, defeat him, and he will turn into a rune bear. You simply need to defeat that bear, and upon doing so, you will get your first Larval Tear. Following on from there, we are then turning our attention to Leonia. This time we're going to be going up to the village of the Albinarics again. Run up here to the village of the Albinarics, and then of course, once you get to that village, all you need to do is go over to the sort of graveyard area, and you will then find it located right here in front of this tomb. For the third one, we are remaining in Leonia, and this time we're going to be turning our attention to this location you see on the map. Run over to here and you will then find a giant lobster, and you want to defeat that, and it will then turn into the enemy with the multiple arms. You then want to kill that, and that will give you your next Larval Tear.
I've been thinking about your love tonight. I've been thinking about your love tonight.
Still in Leonia, this time we're turning our attention up towards the Carrier Manor. Of course, in order to have done this, you will need to have defeated the boss in the manor, so you can, of course, get to the back portion of this area. And from here, you then want to go and venture over to this location I'm going to right now, and you'll then find a spirit pointing at the sky. You guys probably would have encountered these if you've done these painting things before, but once you go over there, he will then disappear, drop a few items, one of those being a Larval Tear. Keep in mind, if you have not got that painting, he will not show up there, so this is a necessary part of the process. I will show you the painting now. From the Royal Moongazing Grounds, you want to basically go out of the door and then hug your way around to sort of the cliff face area. And then once you get over to that area, you basically want to sort of work your way down the edge, and you will then find an area that you can drop down to, which will put you onto the sort of battlements of the sort of castle wall down below. You then use the wooden platforms to navigate down until eventually you get down to a platform whereby you can go down a ladder and climb inside. Now ordinarily, depending of course, when you access this area, there will either be a vendor right here called Pedia, who of course you can then go speak to, and he will sell you a level tier. For the next one, we'll be turning our attention to Nokron the Eternal City, and what you want to do once you spawn in is simply run out the doorway in front of you and then take a right towards the stone building. Simply run to the back, grab it, and that is your Larval Tear. For the next one, he is right there in the lower part of the map. Just run up to him. Avoid all the enemies and pick up the Larval Tear. Now, if you continue straight from this location, you will reach the boss Mimic Tear, which will give you 2 times Larval Tears when you defeat him. I have already defeated him, simply to defeat him more easily. Go in without weapons, and at the end, when the mime is created, take weapons and defeat him. Now, follow me from there for the next one.
I just wanna be the one to treat you right. Two-step
Music licensing reimagined.
Thinking about your love tonight. Two hearts gonna make our worlds collide, baby. I just wanna be the one to treat you right. Two-step with me, baby, slide, slide. I've been thinking about your love tonight. I just wanna be the one to treat you right.
You'll see now a giant stone boulder. You quite simply need to destroy this boulder. So of course, watch out for some of the enemies that are in this area, but destroy the boulder and that will then drop a Larval Tear. Now, from this location in the Sufra River, well, follow the pathway until you eventually get to a vendor who will sell you another larval tear, again costing you 3,000 runes. And then for the next three, they're all located in the same area, and the behavior is exactly the same as the one we just did. What you want to do for this one is instead you want to go to Noxtella, the Eternal City, and from here you then want to run up the staircase first, past, of course, the monk enemy and, of course, past the slimes. Then cross over the bridge. As you do so, you will see a boulder rolling down the stairs. Quite simply, destroy the boulder, and this will give you a larval tear. So that's the first one. Following on from there, you then simply want to turn to your right or your left, depending of course which way you are facing, and you then want to work your way towards this little building here. Go in the doorway, and when you walk a little bit further in, the doors will slam, a boulder will drop down, and again destroy this boulder, and that'll be your next larval tear. And then for the third and final one in this area, you then want to run back out the door, go back towards the staircase that the boulder initially was rolling down, and work your way up the stairs and then go into the next room. Now in this room there will be a bunch of slimes that will drop down, and you will of course see the boulder is hanging on the ceiling. You can either just shoot it to make it drop down prematurely, or of course you can just deal with the slimes and then it will drop down afterwards. Either way, get it down, destroy it, and that is your final larval tear. Moving on from there, we're then turning our attention to Khalid. There is one in this area. You can go to either of the sites of grace. Doesn't really matter. Whatever is nearest for you. Once you then go around killing some of the enemies, the enemy at the back of the graveyard will then turn into a giant troll. You then want to kill that troll and you will get a larval tear. Following on from there, we'll then turn our attention to the Altus Plateau. And for this one, what you want to do is go and venture up to this location you see here. So you can, of course, pick whatever is the nearest site of grace for you. For me, that was the Rampart side path. And you then want to work your way up towards this broken down building. Once you get inside and you go through the doorway, on the left hand side, there is an enemy sort of crouched down. If you go and defeat that enemy, they will then turn into one of the big lions. And again, similar principle to the previous one, simply kill this transformed creature and you will get a larval tear. For the next one, we turn our attention to the consecrated snowfield. From there, you want to turn around and you want to run up the hill behind you, and then when you go up there, you will find 3 enemies grouped together. If you go and kill the one that is buried in the ground, it will turn into a giant rune bear. Kill the bear and get Larval Tear. For the last one, we'll be going over to Mount Gelmir in the Altus Plateau. What you want to do is go to the Road of Iniquity, Site of Grace, and from there you then want to work your way down the hill towards the sort of hanging bodies, the hanging trolls, and you'll then see one of these worm-faced enemies. You go and defeat this enemy, and upon doing so, it will then drop a larval tear. Thanks for watching. If this guide helped you find all the larval tears, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow tarnished. See you in the lands between.